Hello, my name is Kolade Ajayi. I'm going to be talking about transactional analysis therapy. Historical perspective. Transactional analysis was developed by Eric Berney in late 1950s. There are four major phases in the development of transactional analysis. The first phase, which was from 1955 to 1962, was the development of the concept of ego states. The second phase, which were concentrated on the idea of transactions and games, was between 1962 and 1966. The third phase emphasized the reason some individuals chose to play certain games in their life, and that was between the year 1966 and 1970. And the fourth phase is together with its followers emphasized actions and energy distribution, and that is from 1970 and on. The key figures in transactional analysis is Eric Berney. He took inspiration from Sigmund Freud's theory of personality, combining it with his own observation of human interaction. He was also known to have trained with Freudian, and it was from this background that he developed his basic theory from an intellectual analytics route. His major objection to psychoanalysis was the fact that it was time-consuming, complex, and poorly communicated with to the patient. There were other influences, which include Rene, Erikson, Paul Verdin, and Eduardo Weiss and Wider Penfield. There are key terms and concepts to consider in transactional analysis. The first one is I'm okay and you are okay. I'm okay, you are okay. This means that this is a philosophical statement that suggests every human being, without exception, is valuable, important, and to be taken fully into account. Everybody is valuable, whether you are black, white, regardless of your race, sex, and gender. Another important key concept is stroke. Strokes are the units of interpersonal recognition to survive and thrive. A stroke is a unit of attention which provides stimulation to an individual. So, um, positive stroke could be something like, I love you, you are wonderful. Negative stroke would be, I hate you, you are an idiot. So, strokes, in other words, they are like affirmation from people, loved ones. An ego state, just like we have said, ego states, we have at three different ego states. We have the child, the adult, and uh, the parental ego state, in which we all human beings we operate from. Transactions refers to communication exchanges between people. Game people play. Game people play, according to Eric, he defines certain socially dysfunctional behavior patterns as games. Life scripts. Life scripts, according to him, he proposed that dysfunctional behavior is the result of self-limiting decisions made in childhood in the interest of survival. Some decisions culminate in what Eric called the life scripts. Uh, Changing the life script is the aim of transactional analysis therapy. Um, an example is the decision not to cry by a young boy because he was fed that meat while growing up that it was wrong for a man to cry. So such a person probably will grow up losing all emotions, whereas there is really nothing wrong in uh, man shedding tears or betraying emotions. It only shows that you are human. Um, Contracts, according to transactional analysis, contracts uh, the work that the therapists do is based on contractual basis between the client and the therapist, educator or consultant. Transactional analysis view people as capable of being able to decide what they want for their life. So there is a contract before the therapy is being started to determine the goals and the what the patient is trying to get out of the therapy. Assessments and tools. Assessments and tools. Uh, Structural analysis. There are different assessment and tools in structure and transactional analysis. One of such is structural analysis, which is uh, the use of the three different types of ego in the analysis theory. Um, we have the game analysis, which Mr. Benny defined as certain socially dysfunctional behavior pattern. Game analysis is the act of observing what games are played and the results uh, it would be how these games interfere with a person's relationship. Script analysis is a method of uncovering the early decisions made unconsciously as to how life should be lived. Changing the life script is the aim of transactional analysis therapy. Some of the commonly uh, seen diagnosis in transactional analysis includes depression, bipolar, communication issues, fear of intimacy, low self-esteem, and anxiety. Now to talk about the case study. The case study, uh, patient XY is a 43-year-old female. She is emotionally unstable, frustrated, history of relational problem with husband, parents, in-law. She has been feeling depressed, neglected with occasional aggressive mood. She disrespected husband and could not accept him as he looked ugly. She was socially withdrawn, felt low energy and somatic pain. She also was found to have history of suicide attempt. Using the script analysis, which is script analysis, is demonstrate the process by which people acquire a script and the strategies they employ to justify their actions based on it. The aim is to help clients open possibilities for making changes in their early programming. So using the script analysis uh, for this case study, it was found that um, she was the third sibling with unexpected. She was the third sibling and also was an unexpected child. Her mother tried to abort her and had taken medicine and highlighted in front of her during childhood. Childhood memory made her feel insecure, unlovable, neglected. Her father showed very critical parenting style, extremely beaten at age 15 by father, kicked lower abdomen and still had a traumatic experience. Her boyfriend betrayed her after 7 years of affair. She felt father pushed her to get married to the present husband, and because of that, she subsequently avoided her parents. Using game analysis is the act of observing and understanding what games a client played, what the end result will be, and how these games interfere with a person's relationship. So some of the games that was found in questionnaire include Poor Me and Now I Got You. Her husband became victim position and she became the prosecutor. She developed adjustment problem and couldn't maintain relationship with others. The diagnosis was bipolar disorder, and the action plan includes self-talk, planning activities, changing focus, and taking their medication. Uh, the action plan include challenging on helpful thoughts, changing client focus and attention, planning and doing activities that could help the patient to feel better and cutting down on what uh, does not help her. The treatment approach, method, and techniques. Treatment approach divided into uh, four. We have the social control, the symptomatic relief, the transference cure, and the script cure. The social control, this is the stage where the patient takes control of her actions, engaging less often in script behavior and increasing her autonomy behavior, being able to take control over what may be the negative behavior that she may be eliciting. Uh, Here, the patient takes control of her behavior from adults' point of view and not from a child point of view. In this situation, the client carries out the action that were previously avoided. She also started to move on, becomes more proactive uh, with the intention to sit through therapy session. The other one is the symptomatic relief, which here she's not simply keeping under control of her script's behavior. She also began to make changes in child or parent so that she could feel less inclined to engage in this behavior. Transference cure, here the patient in child has come to view the counselor as a substitute for the child's original parents. If termination takes place in this stage, the client will have to arrange to keep the counselor around in his or her head in the same way as he previously kept his original parent around. And the script cure, which is the last phase, is the phase where the patient can sustain his or her movement out of script even when the counselor support is withdrawn on termination. There are exercises. Some of these exercises they include what to talk about when you are dealing with uh, a client, how to listen and how to ask questions. Clients are encouraged to talk about everything from their childhood to adulthood. They will be asked how they feel, what they see in the for example, maybe presenting them with a family album, what is important in relationship to them. And this is a video of an example of uh, transactional analysis therapy session. The evidence-based research, 3 evidence-based research were included in this session presentation. The first one was carried out by Etemadi, Matimpo, and Eshimati with the goal to determine the effectiveness of transactional analysis group therapy on addiction in intensity of women patients treated with methadone. And it was found out that the group therapy using transactional analysis approach is effective in reducing addiction intensity of a woman patient treated with methadone. On et al. In the research on the cost effectiveness of short-term inpatient psychotherapy based on transactional analysis in patients with personality disorder. The findings showed that short-term inpatient psychotherapy based on transactional analysis in patients with personality disorder was more effective comparable to other specialized psychotherapies. For Gani Gambari, 2016 determined in a research to determine the effect of group therapy with transactional analysis approach on emotional intelligence, executive function, and drug dependency. It was found out that the psychotherapy with transactional analysis approach has significant effects on addict and prevents addiction recurrence by improving the coping capabilities and some mental functions of the subjects. And these are resources: International Transactional Analysis Association, transactional analysis tools for psychotherapy, transactional analysis uh, ideas, resource, and contracts, growth resources in transactional analysis. The conclusion transactional analysis is a rational and easy to understand method of clarifying and managing human relationship and behavior. It is grounded on the assumption that we make current decisions based on past premises. The premises were one time appropriate for our survival needs but may no longer be valid. I'm okay, you are okay, that position shows acceptance of self and others. The goal of transactional analysis is autonomy, which is defined as awareness, spontaneity, and capacity of intimacy. Study guide transactional analysis was founded by Eric Berney. Transactional analysis is a theory of personality and systematic psychotherapy for personal growth and personal change. The theory gives an idea of how people are structured psychologically. It explains how people function, how they express their personality in terms of behavior. It has three-part model known as ego state model, namely the parent ego, the adult ego, and the child ego. The parent ego state is characterized by domineering, overprotective, and loving, stern, and critical. It is illustrated by those who establish standard and rule for others. Adult ego stage is in this stage, people attack problem in a cool-minded, rational manner. In adult states, information is gathered, carefully analyzed, it generates alternatives and make logical choices. Child ego stage, submissive, conforming, insubordinate, emotional, joyful, or rebellious, characterized by very immature behavior. The two very important goals are to reach autonomy, including the use of all egos self, which is regarded as a different state of self, and also to develop intimacy, which is described as the free exchange of strokes without ulterior transaction and allowing for spontaneity.